welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and today I will be making a top tuck with a mystery using guest checks, flowers, and paste or texture medium. This project is part of a journal I am making in conjunction with the hashtag MMMJJC Mystery Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge. That is hosted by Julie at Dear Julie. I will link all of that information for her sites, her Etsy, and her YouTube in the description box below. So I went ahead and pulled out some parts, as I have been doing. And these are what I intend to work with today. And remember, I'm making a top tuck with a mystery, which simply means that it's got a hidden job. It's got something fun hidden in there that is useful. I will be using a guest check, so I got two of this one, and then I got one each of the other two types that I have. Thought I had some blue ones, but apparently I don't. Let's see, and then flowers, and these are spare parts flowers from the Paper Studio. I think that the Paper Studio is Hobby Lobby, but I'm not positive on that. But look at those colors. Those are perfect to go with the digital that I am using from Julie. Let's see, and paste or texture medium. And I pulled out my distressed texture paste that is translucent. And here I am going to take a moment for a PSA. Use your stuff. Use your stuff. I have these two lovely, I mean, aren't they pretty? Just that sparkle, and this color goes so well with this color. I open it up and it's dried. And this isn't the first time. I just did this, well, several months ago. I mentioned it in a video. Somebody said you could try reconstituting it. I'm not sure what to reconstitute this with. If somebody has a suggestion, let me know, because that's a waste. That's a waste, and I have only used this once, so that has all just dried up and dehydrated. Still pretty, but pretty much useless. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming. And the mowers are at my next door neighbors, so you may hear them in the background. If you don't, I do, so excuse me if I get distracted occasionally because of it. All right, I'm going to set these up here to the side because I tend to lose them if I don't. All right, this is not dried up. I've already checked it out. Matter of fact, I've only had this for well, I got it before I broke my ankle, so that would be in January. But it's not dried up yet. I've looked. All right, I also got out an envelope because I have an idea of how I want to do this. This is one of the papers that I'm using from Dear Julie's Digitals. And this is called, I think it's just called Florals. I don't know. I will link to that in the description as well. And I pulled out a stencil because my journal theme is paisley petals, and this is a paisley print. And I'll be using this with that. And I am not going to put this into the journal yet because I haven't made the journal yet. I am going to make it to where it can be put into the journal easily. And I may or may not have all of the things that I need, but I can always go and pull out the things that I need. And I know I want to use this center section because I need it to be this way, landscape, and the other two don't lend to landscape. This one could go either direction, unless you're using that little bit there, and all I have to do is not use that little bit there. So I'm going to pull these flowers over and see what I want to pick up from this piece. because it's going to be right next to each other. And I think I want quite a bit of the blue. I think I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to come in right here. I don't want too much of that flower. So I'll come in right here, and then I'll go as far as I can and be just slightly, ever so slightly bigger than the envelope. The envelope measures 4 5/8 by 3 5/8. So I could go 3 1/4. No, not 3 1/4. 3 3/4 and 5 3/4. And that should be just enough over the edges of that to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. So I'll get my paper cutter out here. And I said 3 3/4. Oh, wow. Okay, that is exactly. I love it when that happens. I love it when a plan comes together. And then I wanted to go just above that flower there. I'm not measuring at the moment. I am eyeballing where I want my edge to be on that end. And then 4 3/4 for that final measurement. So to create this top tuck, let's see, which way is that going to go? Well, I like that facing that way. This is going to be a tuck. And if I go this way, I'm going to take my envelope and I'm going to fold the flap back on itself. And that way I can glue, let's see, yes, I can glue that to the page, this to the page, and then glue these two corners or these two sides down to the page, and that will create a top tuck. I will glue this at the top of the page. But then I want my mystery, and my mystery is going to involve this part of the pocket, because I'm going to glue this on here. Just like that. And then in behind, I am going to have, oh, let's see if I can find another piece. I can use this one for an example. I'm going to open this real quick. I am going to glue some of these flowers to the top of a journaling card that I will tuck down in behind that way into that pocket. But I'm going to make it so that it doesn't look like they're attached to anything other than this card. So do you get that? I'm going to, and I haven't quite got it figured out. I just figured that that was something I could do. I am going to, this will be glued on, and this will be glued on, and they will all be hiding the card behind them. Let's see which of these. I'm gonna do that one. I like the gold in the middle of that one, but I like the dark in the middle of that one to kind of, no, but it gets lost. And I don't think that has the right kind of look to it. So it's going to be this one. When I glue those on there and it is slid down into the tuck, you won't know that that's back there because it just looks like decoration for the top of the tuck. Does that make sense to everybody? I think so. And I think that the way I'm going to have to do it actually is the paper that I use, I'm going to have to fold forward. So it's going to need to be print like that. It's not going to be this particular card, I don't think. I don't know. After working all this out, I may use it along with another piece. And so that can go that way, and that way the flowers will sit even further down onto the card, looking like it is part of it. Just like that. Yeah, just like that. And then let's see. And then for my top tuck, I will make a notepad using some of the guest checks. And that'll just slide up in behind the whole envelope into there. I know those will. That's going to be the basic look of the whole thing. It won't be just that in total, but I do think that that's going to work. So I'm going to get started on creating this. I know that I will be gluing that to that, but I have to use texture paste with this too. So I'm going to pull out the texture paste and my stencil, my paisley stencil, and see if I can find a spot on here. Let me move things so I don't accidentally do something silly and mess up what I've already got figured out. I think that might work. I need to get some protection put down. All right, do I want to do that? Do that. I'm looking at the center of my paisley here that has a little flower that kind of matches that in shape and size somewhat. So I'm trying to figure out the best location. Forget that I can turn it over, that might help. All right, and I have not used this yet, so I don't know how it behaves. So you're going to find out along with me. Well, apparently you have to use more than that. And this will dry translucent, so if I make a boo-boo, it's going to be a clear boo-boo. So hopefully it'll be easy to cover up. Seriously, I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Just learning here and experimenting. Trying to make sure all my little holes are filled. I do know that you're supposed to do that. Oh, I don't know if this is bravery or silliness. All right. And now you just got to take it straight off and then move it away. Oh, that, I kind of like that. Okay. So I'm going to wipe this off because I have watched enough videos on it to know that if you don't clean it up right away, you can ruin things. said I hadn't used texture paste. I've used texture paste. I haven't used this particular kind. It is Tim Holtz Distress texture paste. And with it being distress, I don't know if that means it acts, how differently it will act from other texture pastes. All right, so we're gonna pick that straight up. Yay! I'm not disappointed in how that looks so far. I know it's not dried. And it may dry in a weird way. Let's scoot that away from there. All right, and then the last one. I'm gonna turn it this way because I'm right-handed, so I have to use my right hand with the palette knife. Okay, will that center reach the center of the flower without touching the other two places that are still wet? Oof. Just barely. I'm gonna have to be really careful. I like this. Oh, I'm gonna have to use texture paste more often.